What a way to start off the video, Adam Saleh, grinning like you've just taken a nice shit. Well done, Adam, well done. We love to see this lovely grin in your face the moment you start this video. This totally isn't unprofessional, this is totally how great YouTubers with big sub counts make their videos. Oh.
What's up, Adumi Gang? I hope you're all having an amazing day because I'm having an amazing day. So if I'm having an amazing day, you all should be having an amazing, happy day.
I'm absolutely delighted that you said that, Adam, truly, but I'm currently hungover and very tired. So that doesn't mean I'm not having a bad day, but that means that I'm having a bad day for my body, potentially. So yeah, you know, thanks for asking, mate. Thanks for asking. I'd give you 2 thumbs up if I could, but no one can see it because I'm doing this audio only. So yeah.
So this video is going to be a little different, but really interesting. I'll be telling you all 7 mind-blowing miracles of Allah.
Oh, inshallah, Adam, inshallah. This can't possibly be a train wreck waiting to happen.
First of all, I'm going to tell you guys the meaning of Allah. Allah is the Arabic word of God.
Yes, Adam, I think we know what Allah means. It means God, yes, we know. I mean, maybe our audience is that stupid that they don't know that, but we know, so you don't need to tell us, okay? We aren't in primary school, mate.
If you guys are a Muslim, I still suggest you guys to watch the video because I respect all religions and I would love to hear your opinion on it.
Unless, of course, they're apostates like Introverted Smiles, then they don't deserve respect because they deserve to be nothing but ridiculed and attacked because they criticised God's chosen YouTuber, Adam Saleh.
So I'm gonna start and tell you guys 7 miracles of Allah. Number 1, Allah's name in Arabic, which looks like this, is on Africa.
Whoa, hold on there a sec, Adam. Just a sec. Hold on just a second. Are you meaning to tell me that the Arab word for God is on Africa? You see, people, if someone came up to you in the street, right, and he said, you see this tea bag? It's on Africa. You quite rightly report him to social services and they will probably take him to a mental hospital where he will be treated for mental illness, right? Well, for some reason, we don't give this same treatment to religious people like Adam Saleh who think they can see words on continents. But a little bit more about that in just a minute. Continue, God's chosen YouTuber.
It's literally written on Africa. When I went to Google and I looked up the 3D globe Earth.
You mean Google Earth, Adam? You mean Google Earth?
If you go on Africa and look closely, you will see Allah's name. I went on so many globes and I still seen Allah's name on it.
Now you see, Adam, and this is what happens to a lot of humans, pretty much all of us have gone through all of this before. What you're seeing here is a pareidolia. A pareidolia is a psychological phenomenon involving a stimulus, image or sound, wherein the mind perceives a familiar pattern or something where none actually exists. That is of course from Wikipedia. And basically, whenever you see on the news about, you know, the face from Mars, Jesus in the tea leaves, Jesus in a tattoo where it's not meant to be there, Jesus in the clouds, hell, making shapes in general with clouds, that's pareidolia. What you're seeing is not actually there. It's just mountains and desert and all sorts of other geological landscapes that actually don't look like it, but to your mind it does because you want to see something that isn't actually there. Hate to say it, mate, but that's not the word for Allah in Arabic. It is simply just normal geological stuff on the earth and your mind is playing tricks on you. Hey, don't take my word for it. Take these words of wisdom from Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
Number 2, on your right hand, which I just outlined with a pen, is the number 18 in Arabic. This is the number 1 in Arabic, and this is the number 8 in Arabic, which is 18.
Adam, the problem is, again, not everyone's palms are like that. No human's palms are the same, just like how no person's fingertips are the same, but not to the extent of that individuality. I don't have palms like that. My palms don't show anything like that at all. Some people don't have... What are you trying to say here? Some people's palms look like the Arabic word for 18. Again, this is a pareidolia, mate. You're seeing what you want to see, when really, it's just wrinkles, bro.
And on your left hand is the number 81 in Arabic. This is the number 8 in Arabic, and that's the number 1 in Arabic, which is 81.
And again, as mentioned before, everybody's hands are different, therefore this is not applied to the rest of the human race, and this does not infer in any way miraculous things are happening because Allah said so. In fact, none of these things are miracles, they're just proven by science to be hallucinations, illuminations, spectres almost. Come on, Adam.
If you add up 18 and 81, it equals to 99, which is the number of Allah's beautiful names that appear in the Quran. And if you subtract 18 from 81, that equals to 63. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, passed away at the age of 63. Subhanallah, that's amazing. I remember when I was younger and I used to know about it, I'm like, wow, that's so cool.
Adam, these are nothing but coincidences. Coincidences do not equal miracles. This is a coincidence. There have been far more interesting coincidences in history than this. For example, as Nagon Madani's video pointed out in his French way, the deaths of Abraham Lincoln and Kennedy are very similar and coincidental in the way that they panned out, and also their lives are quite coincidental in many ways, but there's loads of other coincidences. These are not examples of God or Allah or anything like that. This is just how the world works.
Everyone has Arabic numbers on their hands.
No, Adam, nobody's hands are the same. I don't have these numbers. You and some other people will have these numbers, or pareidolia, on their hands. This is not some crazy miraculous thing. This is not God's work. This is how some people's hands are developed and others are not. Your point is just moot.
Number 3, there is a tree in Australia that is doing a rak'ah, like it's praying. Literally, there's a tree in Australia that's doing a rak'ah that's like this.
Yeah, and there are trees that look like penises. There are trees that look like people. There are trees that are just doing anything in weird shapes. Do you know why? Because the environment affects them in different ways, especially if they grow in a place where they may end up growing differently to trees of their species. This is not a miracle. This is again a coincidence and also a pareidolia. Mate, you really need to check your brain, okay? I'm just saying. But then again, if a lot of people like you did, maybe the world would be a better place, or maybe the mental hospitals would be filled to the brim and we'd have a crisis. I don't know. What do you think, people?
And the amazing thing is that the tree is making ruku', is facing towards the Kaaba, which is, we pray facing the Kaaba, and the tree is facing the Kaaba, which is really, really amazing. Some people go there and take photos with it. Some people go there and pray next to it. If I ever go to Australia, I need to visit that tree. It looks so dope.
Again, it's just a coincidence. I'm sure there's another tree that isn't like that is pointing the exact same direction, yet because it's shaped normally like any other tree of its species would be, you lot ignore it. There are also trees that are probably pointing towards Andromeda or something. So what? It's just a coincidence. It's no evidence for miracles or that God has been doing this shit. Besides, why would God do this anyway? Is he really that bored that he would just go, oh, let's just toy with the humans and make them see things that aren't really there, or let's just see how they react to this tree looking like a human praying in a particular way? I don't know about you, but that seems like a particularly stupid God.
Number 4, there was a tsunami in Indonesia in 2004 and everything was completely like destroyed and gone other than the masjids over there.
Sweet Lord, a structurally sound building survived the tsunami. Oh, good Lord, this must be a sign of a miracle.
All you can see after the tsunami is the masjids just there and nothing being destroyed in the masjid. After that event happened, a lot of people converted to Islam. A lot of people were closer to Allah because they seen the power of Allah. Like Allah's home is always protected.
I'm sorry, but that is not God protecting his flock. That is not any divine power making those buildings stand the destruction of a tsunami. No, that is good old-fashioned human engineering. Those buildings are made out of stone and concrete and better building materials than most of the buildings in those areas, which would have been prefabricated housing made out of corrugated iron and wood and plastic and other flimsy materials, because these people are most likely poor and cannot afford the housing that richer people can afford, which is probably also still standing, let's not forget. I think the only way these people could possibly have converted to Islam is because, well, they're not very educated, most likely not very smart, and assume that this will protect them, and are also ignorant of said engineering marvels that humans have created. Sorry, Adam, again, this is not a miracle. This can be explained through engineering and science.
Maybe some of you guys are thinking like, oh, Adam is just there, oh, it's just a coincidence. But in the Quran, chapter 41, verse 53, it says, we will show them our signs in all the regions of the earth and in their own souls, until they clearly see that this is the truth.
Ah, nice use of the Arabic characters, Adam. We wouldn't want people to not know what you're actually talking about now, would we? But in all seriousness, what does this actually prove? This proves absolutely nothing. What? It says in the Quran that God will show you all this stuff that will happen to prove something. That doesn't prove anything. All of these things so far can be explained through science, reason, and logic. I've pretty much proven that none of these things are miracles miracles so far, and that it's just simple, real-world things that are the actual explanations for these things. So, yeah, apparently God is doing this stupid thing to show you guys that he's real? Really? That doesn't make any sense.
So remember, these are amazing signs, amazing miracles by Allah.
No, Adam, quoting from a book that cannot even prove that its own God exists, that any of this shit actually happened, other than the actual conquests itself and the stuff that's based on history, is not proof that God is doing miracles, okay? Just don't, please.
Number 5. This is a video of a baby that was crying, and once they put on Quran, it just started to be, feel really relaxed and just like calm down and take a nap and go to sleep.
Now, who wants to take a bet that this baby is responding to nice, quiet music and is relaxing because it's heard some stimuli that is, well, relaxing? Or doing what babies do when they're crying, then something may pique their interest that stops them from crying, and we now have a nice, quiet baby. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure it's just babies being babies here. But let's continue.
So cute. He's so cute.
So what do you know, I was correct, the baby had some other stimuli that came out of nowhere and piqued its interest, and it stopped crying. Of course, this doesn't explain as to why the baby was crying, but apparently it's a miracle because the baby heard some music or something that was interesting to it, that it stopped crying. That's not a miracle, that's just how babies work, that's what they do. You think these people have never lived a day in their lives, or they just don't know anything about anything. I mean, I hope I'm not wrong.
Number 6.
Blasphemy!
This is a really unique one. The word dunya, which means world, and the word akhirah, which means hereafter, are written in the Quran 115 times. These words are like the opposite, and they're written the same amount, repeated 115 times in the Quran.
You know, maybe this is just another one of those coincidences that you think are miracles, or maybe because they're opposites, and the Quran does have a lot of poetic technique to it, like the Bible does, maybe this was intentional by the people who wrote it in order to make some kind of point about how the opposites are, or maybe that's just a coincidence because they talked about these things a lot, the same amount of times perhaps, and that's why they're both written 115 times. I don't know about you people, but this is not a miracle so far. Come on, Adam.
The word devil and the word angel are repeated 88 times in the Quran.
Again, how does this prove anything? What miracle is this? They're repeated a few times. And?
The word Jannah, which means heaven, and the word Nar, which means hell, are repeated in the Quran 77 times. The word woman and man are repeated 23 times in the Quran.
I'm going to assume that this is leading to some big revelation, Adam, because right now all you're just doing is pointing out statistics in the Quran, because some words were repeated several times. Do we have to add them up? Do we divide them? Do we multiply them? What do we do? And what is the end game of this point, this so-called point? At least the others had something that I could at least explain. This is just rubbish so far.
The Prophet Isa and Adam both had no dad, and both of their names are repeated 25 times in the Quran, which is the same amount. Now tell me that isn't amazing.
Maybe it's amazing to small-minded people like you, Adam, but to people like me and other people around the world, no, that's not amazing. You've listed more coincidences, some statistics about words being used. 2 prophets had no dads, which is a coincidence. And I'm sure I could find someone like my dad who is 56 years old and has, I don't know, a computer. I'm sure I could find a coincidence like that. Oh, and they both happen to come from Manchester. That would be quite a coincidence. It'd be amazing, innit? But no, it's only amazing because you think it's amazing and you're small-minded. Is this the big revelation that you have given us because these things are there in the Quran? That's just ridiculous.
Last but not least, number 7. This is my favorite one. In the Quran, Surah Al-Qamar, which means moon. If you count the verses from Surah Al-Qamar, moon, all the way to the end of the Quran, to Surah Al-Nas, that's 1,389 verses from Surah Al-Qamar, moon, all the way to the end. The year 1389 in the Islamic calendar is 1969 in the modern calendar.
Again, more coincidences. Coincidences do not equal miracles, Adam. Is this something to do with the moon landings? Are you trying to suggest that somehow Islam predicted that? Come on, Adam. This is not a prediction. This is a coincidence.
And in the year 1969, that's when Neil Armstrong went to the moon.
It's a coincidence. We get it. This doesn't prove anything. There is no miracle here. 1389 is 1969 in the two different calendars. That says nothing. That's not a miracle. That's just a coincidence. It's probably not even a coincidence. It's just a different way of saying a day on the earth. What does this even mean?
Only the creator, the all-knowing Allah, can like produce a book that, you know, reveals historical events.
I called it. I told you he would say something like this. God didn't call anything. God did not say this is going to happen. This is how your calendar translates into the Gregorian calendar. That does not predict an event is going to happen. Did he also predict that Woodstock was going to happen the same year? Or that Altamont happened that year too? What does this prove? Nothing. You are assigning prophecy where there is none.
I hope you all enjoyed this video. I wanted to do something a little different and a little cool and interesting. So if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and take 2 seconds just to give it a thumbs up. If you want more, something like this, cool, I don't know, cool stuff like this, give it a thumbs up.
I'm going to say no. I won't give you a thumbs up for this stupidity, Adam. No, I just cannot bring myself to do that, really. And that, my friends, is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you give it a thumbs up, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, heed these words.
If you based the design of rockets on science, they reach the moon. It works, bitches.